Well, today we join the world in the marking the Heart Day, a global initiative dedicated to raising awareness about the cardiovascular health. Heart disease remains one of the leading causes of the health worldwide, yet so much of it can be prevented through healthier lifestyle choices, early detection and community awareness. On this occasion, we are honored to host our dear guest, Dr. Alsulaimi. He is a senior specialist interventional cardiologist at Mubarak Al-Kabir Hospital and International Hospital, who will shed light on the importance of protecting our hearts, the risk we need to watch out for, and the steps we can all take to live longer, healthier lives. So hello and good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Sarah. Thank you for hosting me in this very special day, and I hope everyone has a happy World Heart Day.
Well, speaking about the World Heart Day, what is the message actually you would like to give toward your viewers?
Well, obviously to promote healthy lifestyle, that's the most important thing. One of the major causes of death worldwide, not just in our region, is cardiovascular disease, heart attacks mainly. And people generally should focus on having a healthy lifestyle, stop smoking, exercise, diet, all these things, which we'll go into, inshallah, today.
Well, exactly. So what are the most common heart diseases we actually having in common in this region?
So the number one killer is heart attacks, basically plaque buildup in the arteries.
Yes.
That develops over several years. And usually this plaque can rupture suddenly and cause a heart attack. That's the number one killer. This is the number one killer worldwide, not just in our region.
Okay, so what are the reasons of that?
So there's many reasons, many factors. Obviously genetic factors play a major role. And I'll give you an example because I have a patient, for example, who's very healthy, extremely healthy. He's a marathon runner.
Okay.
And everything, he doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything bad, but he has heart disease, and that's because of his genetics. So genetics play a big role. Obviously, there's other factors. Diabetes is very prevalent in our community. High blood pressure, sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking is a big factor. I encourage everyone to stop smoking, obviously. And so many other things, but those are the main things we need to focus on.
So let's talk about the lifestyle. How does the lifestyle such as exercises, eating healthy food can really prevent from heart diseases?
So what exercise does, and good exercise, not just like some mild activity, good exercise on a daily basis promotes a lot of things. It can lower the blood pressure slightly, it can lower your weight, reduce stress levels. So exercise is one of those things. Diet obviously plays a major role, so lowering your fatty intake, more vegetables, more fruits, those kind of things can really lower the risk, and smoking obviously is a big factor.
So let's say good exercises, let's say as lifting or resistance, so on?
No, cardio exercise.
Cardio.
So doing cardio, meaning if you actually walk briskly every day for half an hour, 45 minutes, that's a good form of exercise. Weightlifting by itself is not very effective in terms of preventing cardiovascular disease. It's fine to do weightlifting, it's not a problem. But mainly you have to do brisk walking or running or jogging. Those are the things that are good for your heart.
Okay, but mild, let's say, walking also is not good for, let's say.
Slow walking, no. You have to do brisk walking.
Jogging, let's say.
Yeah, or brisk
feeling
walking.
the heartbeats.
Yeah.
After feeling the heartbeat and sweating, then that's really good.
Exactly.
So what role does stress actually plays in increasing the risk of heart diseases, since we are living actually in a very stressful world nowadays?
Yes. So stress, it can lead to many issues. For example, it can raise your heart rate, it can increase your blood pressure, and also increases cortisol levels in your blood. All of these promote plaque buildup. So stress by itself is not a good thing. The other thing that stress does, it can lead to bad habits. So you can eat more bad food, sugary food.
Smoking.
Yeah, exactly. Smoking. So those are the other factors that it can influence in your daily life.
Okay, so how can governments, healthcare, and also all the communities can provide, let's say, work together to promote health awareness?
So what the government can do is obviously improve access to healthcare. So if they improve access to healthcare, patients can easily get tested, they can you know, they can get access to a doctor who can give them the advice they need. The other thing is obviously promote healthier lifestyle. So they may encourage the community to have more healthier lifestyle, maybe open public roads for biking, for example. People can bike, more gyms, which we already have, which is great in our country. So those are some of the things they can work on.
And also in the schools, because you see, let's say, students and young boys and girls are really fat and obese. They have really obesity nowadays, and they do really love watching TV and playing games without really exercising. They say we are lazy. It's really hard, let's say, painful to do some exercises. So we have to spread the awareness and widen up the awareness also in the schools, isn't it that, doctor?
That's a very important point. So actually focusing on the kids, the young kids, is very, very important, because if you promote healthier lifestyle in children, young age, then you can basically make a foundation for them in the future. In the future, yeah. So they can, for example, in schools, as you mentioned, they promote exercise, eating healthy, all those things, if, you know, lowering the obesity rates. There's a lot of obese children, unfortunately, and that's not a good thing. Yes,
exactly, doctor. So are there some misconceptions about the heart diseases you'd like to mention for us?
Yes, so heart disease, everyone thinks it occurs in an old, elderly individuals, old age. Everyone associates it with old individuals. Actually, it can happen with young individuals. And I see this a lot in our area especially. A lot of young people in their 30s, even 40s, they present with heart attacks. So that's one misconception. The other misconception is, young individuals, for example, they do not necessarily have to have heart attacks. They can also have other diseases related to the heart. For example, inflammatory diseases or viral illnesses can also cause heart problems. But mainly the big myth is that it's old age. It's not necessarily old age.
Yeah, as you mentioned, like smoking, bad habits, and even genetic can cause heart diseases. So it's really not only for old people.
Exactly.
So, doctor, you already mentioned some of the advices for your viewers to prevent. Do you actually have any advice about checkups, for example, to check up if we have really, let's say, genetic, for example, heart diseases or so on?
Yeah, checkup is very important. I advise everyone to check, especially basic things like you check your blood pressure, you check your sugar level, you do those basic blood tests that everyone can do. It's very, very accessible in our area. Check your cholesterol. Unfortunately, there's no genetic testing. Yeah, there's no genetic specifically for heart disease. There's certain genetics play a role in cholesterol. So if you have a family member who has high cholesterol, very high cholesterol, extremely high, then you are you need to be tested as well.
What about the fatty liver, let's say? The fat liver or the...
Yeah, the fatty liver, it can occur in general in everyone. If you have a lot of fat, it can deposit in your liver. But fatty liver by itself is not a cause for heart disease.
Oh, okay.
It can cause, in the long term, it can cause cirrhosis of the liver, fibrosis of the liver. But by itself, it's not really related to heart disease.
So in general, doctor, as you mentioned, and your advice is the golden advice actually to our dear viewers to stop smoking, eat healthy, exercise to prevent a heart disease. And the most important thing is to reduce the stress level. Is that true?
Exactly, as you mentioned.
Well, thank you so much, doctor, for being here in Good Morning Kuwait, actually. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting me, Sarah. Thank you very much.
Big thanks and appreciation to our dear guest, Dr. Alsulaimi. He's Senior Specialist Interventional Cardiologist at Mbark Al Kabir Hospital and International Hospital. Don't go away, dear viewers. Let's have this time to break, and then we'll move on.